is down in Orlando with that interview with one of the survivors. Let's go to Amy. Good morning, Amy.
Yeah, it's incredible, George and everyone. Good morning. Norman Casiano was shot inside the nightclub, hiding with others inside a crowded bathroom stall when the gunman walked in and started shooting. Norman was just discharged from the hospital on Monday and spoke with us moments ago. I see you still have your hospital wristbands on. How are you feeling?
I'm still gathering everything, just trying to make sense of everything. Physically, it's a lot. There's pain, but
and emotionally, that's a whole
emotionally,
nother.
It's a whole nother level, yeah.
Okay, so take us back to that night. You were about to call Uber, you were about to leave the bar when the shots rang out, and you managed to get to a bathroom.
Yes.
Tell me what happened next.
Once I heard the first two shots, I knew that it wasn't music, and I automatically just got as low to the floor as I could and crawled my way to the bathroom and went into the biggest stall they had. And once I got in there was already about 20 people hiding and just lined up against the walls. With me, there came like another group of like 10 or 15 more. So in total, it was like 30 or more of us in there.
And then you were listening to the shots, but then you started hearing them get closer and louder.
Yes, at that point, it became extra real. It became really real. At that point, everyone just was ducking and closing their eyes, and I heard a lot of people praying. I myself was praying and just saying that this can't be my last moments here. Like, this can't be what's gonna happen right now. It's still very surreal.
I cannot even imagine. And then the gunman came into the bathroom.
Actually, a victim made his way into the bathroom first. I guess he was trying to get away, and he had gotten hit already.
And so he was following that person into the bathroom.
We didn't really put two and two together right away, but the person was so injured that he automatically fell to the floor. And I was one of the closest people to the front where you could see the space he was laying underneath. We were trying to get him to be able to come into the stall, but there was so many people that there was no way of being able to get him in. So I was just consoling him and telling him, just make sure you like breathe and be quiet so that he doesn't hear us, or so nothing worse happens. And I just told him to look me in the eye and just relax. And I'll remember this forever. He just looked me in the eye and he's like, I don't want to die. At that moment, the shooter came in and fired another. Well, at that moment, he fired another shot at the gentleman who was on the floor.
And killed him?
Yes. I actually witnessed his last few moments. At that moment, he then rang fire on the stall, just without knowing where he was shooting. He just shot at the stall. I was near the front, and once I heard him cocking the gun and getting ready to do what was about to happen, I turned and started getting closer towards the back. There was no space, so everyone's piling up on top of each other, trying to get as far away as possible. And when he rang the first shots, that's when I got hit on my right side. And I automatically knew, like, it was real. He had like a good brief 10 seconds in between that, and at that moment I pull out my phone and I start calling my parents. My phone was dying because I wasn't expected to be there that long. So my father was able to pick up, and the only thing I was able to put out with the last few seconds of my phone was, "Mom, Dad, I've been shot. I love you guys," and then the phone hung up. So I got even more distraught because I'm like, this is real, this is really happening. We started screaming and yelling at him, like, "Please don't do this. Like, we haven't seen your face. We don't know who you are. We haven't even heard your voice yet. Like, just please don't do this." And I don't know if that made him want to do it more. He had then grabbed the gun and shot over the top of the stall. And that's when I got hit on this side.
And you said he didn't speak, but he was laughing?
He laughed once when he shot the gentleman in the front, which is something I'm never, ever going to be able to, like, remove from my head. It's imprinted forever. Like, it's just very intense how someone could be doing what he's doing and laugh at the same time. And as he's ringing fire, I got hit, but there was people who got severely hit. One of the girls who I was actually having a good time with that night was right next to me. As I turned to like close my eyes as it's happening, because you don't really have anywhere to go, I turned back to make sure, you know, I'm just looking around to see what happened, and she was already unresponsive.
I literally can't imagine living through that, and then you're shot. How did you get out of that bathroom stall?
I honestly don't even know where the courage and the strength came from, because I was by the time I was thinking of leaving, I was already shot on this side. When he shot on this side the second time, everyone just immediately got quiet, and like I like fell to the floor, because at that moment, that's when your body realizes you've been shot twice. And I guess he thought that whoever was in there, he had already taken care of, and at that point he left, and I could then hear the shots getting further and further away. I guess just hearing my parents' voice and just thinking like there's more, there's no way that this is gonna be where my life ends, and the door wouldn't open, so I had to, which is so impacting in my head, I had to then step on someone's body, and the last image I have is my footprint bloodied on their pants, to then get on the sink, and I had to pull myself up over the stall wall, and it had like a space this big, so I just pushed myself, and I literally just landed on the floor. And then I heard more gunshots, so I scooted over and hid under the sink, and once I saw flashlights, I knew that the police was here, and hopefully we were gonna be okay. At that point, I still yelled and was like, let's get out, let's get out. Everyone's being quiet or saying shh. I poked my head out, and it's dark, so the police didn't know what was going on, anything, and they fired. I then pulled back.
Oh my goodness.
And started screaming. I guess I started going into a little bit of shock.
Right.
I started screaming and yelling, I'm a victim, and they shined the flashlight. They're like, just if you're a victim, just show us your hands and just run out as fast as possible. So that's what I did.
What an unbelievable story. Thank you for sharing it with us. It's an important thing for us to all hear, and we are so glad
Thank you.
that you were able to tell your mom and dad you love them in person.
Yes.
Norman, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
What an incredible story. And I have to say that Norman got over to the interview using a walker. He is still physically so weak, but you can see there his spirit is so strong, and he knows he needs to get some mental help after this, after living through something so horrific. And we certainly hope that all the people in that nightclub who made it out get the help they need after living through something that's so unthinkable, guys.
Boy, they really are going to need it, because as you said, Amy, it's just impossible for someone who hasn't been through it to imagine what that must have been like.
And he said that imprint, that memory will probably never go away.
Thanks, Amy.